Good evening and welcome to the national news broadcast on Channel I. We are ready to bring you the top stories from home and around the world. I'm Natalia Veeravardhan.
Good evening indeed. I'm Charita Vinipurarachi, and now let's move on to the headlines for tonight's news. Velisara Mahasan Naval Base said to be reopened in the aftermath of the COVID-19 outbreak. President says the opportunity has now been created for the local industrialists to commence productions with the limiting of imports. Prime Minister alleges the previous United National Party administration governed the country without any plan or vision. Former MP Dagamage says Sajith Premadasa lost the election after failing to obtain sufficient number of Sinhala community votes. An expose from the Ceylon Electricity Board.
Moving on to the top story for tonight, Sri Lanka Navy has indicated that the Velisara Mahasen Naval Base, which was closed down recently due to the COVID-19 outbreak, will be reopened under several phases from today. The naval camp was closed down for a period of nearly 2 months. The camp will resume operations under several phases.
With the outbreak of COVID-19 virus inside the Velisara Naval Complex, the Navy took a decision to shut it down and isolate the entire naval complex for a period with effect from 24th April 2020. So far, 786 naval personnel have been recovered from COVID-19 and another 112 naval personnel are still being treated in the hospitals. So, with the green light given by the government health sector, the command of the Navy took a decision to reopen the Velisara Naval Complex under several stages, and as its first stage, today we started functioning its all essential duties and the services. However, while we are doing this, we have taken into the consideration a number of facts and the recommendation made by the government health sector as well as the recommendation made by the Navy itself after conducting a proper study into the matter. So, however, we hope that the remaining infected naval personnel also will be recovered very soon and they will be able to discharge their valuable service to the country back soon.
The majority of the confirmed cases of COVID-19 infections in the country was identified as Sri Lanka Navy personnel. The first Sri Lanka Navy officer to contract the novel coronavirus was identified on 21st of April. A total of 901 Sri Lanka Navy officers was identified as COVID-19 patients thus far. Sri Lanka Navy has indicated that 786 COVID-19 infected Navy personnel have been fully recovered from the disease at present. The percentage of the total number of Navy officers recovered from the disease stands at 87.23%. Meanwhile, a total of 115 Navy personnel are still under medical care in hospitals. This is a percentage of 12.31%. The total of 1,548 patients have recovered from the COVID-19, while the percentage stands at 79.34%. So far, a total of only 392 COVID-19 infected patients are still under medical care in hospitals. Another group of 217 Sri Lankans who were stranded in the US, unable to return, was brought back to the country this morning. The stranded group arrived into the country in a flight arrived from Dubai. The group consists of small children and students engaging in their higher studies in the US. Meanwhile, another group of 127 persons have arrived to the country yesterday from Mumbai, India. 112 persons in the group are employees of shipping companies, while 15 are Sri Lankans working in the ships. They have also been kept in several hotels in the vicinity of the airport until they receive the test results. President Gotabaya Rajapakse says that opportunity has now been facilitated to commence productions in many sectors with the limiting of imports of several non-essential items. As pledged in Saubhagya Dakma policy statement, the way has been paved for a people-centric production economy. The current challenge before the industrialists is to win the domestic and global market, the President observed. President made these comments during a discussion with the members of the Inter-Ministerial Task Force on Industrial and Enterprise Development held at the Presidential Secretariat yesterday. At present, there are several tasks before to be performed by businessmen. They include satisfying consumer needs, creation of new industries, and introducing new technology to the country. President emphasized the importance of maintaining the highest possible level of standards in every product manufactured and every service provided in the country. The government apparatus is urged to assist the industrial sector. The groundwork, including the provision of loans at single-digit interest rate, has been laid. President Rajapakse said he expects the industrialists to show results by manufacturing an array of goods ranging from brooms to medical drugs domestically. It is not the government's policy to encourage imports of agricultural products while encouraging farmers to grow locally. President Rajapakse further said that as the government moves forward with a steady policy, an appropriate environment has been facilitated for the farmers to understand the market demand in a similar manner to industrialists. Representatives of several fields including motor vehicle assembly industrialists, motor spare parts manufacturers association, packaging manufacturers, power cables industrialists, National Marine Manufacturers Association, metal industrialists, Leather Industry Advisory Committee, Rubber Related Products Manufacturers Association, Advisory Committee of Electrical and Electronic Equipment, Timber and Timber Related Products Industrialists Association, Joint Apparel Association Forum, Apparel Industrialists, Cosmetic Manufacturers Association and Advisory Committee on the Drug Manufacturing attended in this meeting. Minister of Industries Vimal Veeravansa, Secretary to the President P.B. Jayasundara and Ministry Secretaries participated in the discussion.
Leader of Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapakse says that the previous United National Party administration governed the country without any strategic plan or vision. The Prime Minister said that it is humorous for such entities to request the nation to empower with them the parliamentary authority for another term. The Prime Minister made these remarks while addressing a public gathering of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna held in Polgahawala, Kurunegala today. Kurunegala District Group Leader, former MP Johnston Fernando and other candidates were present at this occasion. Addressing the gathering, the Prime Minister said that past 5 years can be considered as a wasted time period. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapakse said that the previous administration governed the country without any strategic plan or vision. He added that the public in the country continued to suffer in every aspect. He further said that he considered the past 5 years as a wasted time period. The Prime Minister said that his administration was able to end the 30-year-long war in the country and proceed with many development projects, including road development projects, which boosted the development of the country. Therefore, he said that he observed the past 5 years as a wasteful period. The Prime Minister said that the same entities are requesting the nation to empower them with the parliamentary authority for another term. However, he added that the United National Party is divided and shows no unity among them. He condemned the statement made by former MP Harin Fernando, and the Prime Minister said that such insults should not be directed on religious leaders in the country. He also said that the leadership of the party should be aware on the entities which directed him to make such comments. The Prime Minister said that the leadership of this party has issued a statement extending apologies if any harm may have occurred through the comments of his party member. The Prime Minister pointed out that this statement has claimed that he extended apologies only if such offence has occurred through his party member's statement. He said that he observes this statement as an insult. The Prime Minister said that His Eminence the Archbishops only pointed out the rights and wrongs without engaging in politics. Therefore, he said that they vehemently condemned the statement. Another public gathering of the party was held in Potuhera area in Kurunegala today. The gathering was held under the patronage of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapakse. Several SLPP parliamentary candidates were also present at this occasion. Yet another public gathering of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna was held in Talavatte in Kurunegala was held under the patronage of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapakse. Addressing the gathering, the Prime Minister said that Sri Lanka belongs to all communities of the country. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapakse said that no entity has the ability to divide the motherland, which belongs to all communities. He said that each citizen has the fundamental right to live in any part of the country. Therefore, he said that they should be prepared to unify all communities and develop the country as one nation. He said that the support directed by the Buddhist clergy in the country during the presidential election as well as during the government process has always been a strength to them. The Prime Minister said that the historic value of the ancient ruins in the country is valuable to all communities and the government has the responsibility to safeguard these invaluable resources. He said that no entity should be allowed to hinder this process. He said that the relevant land plots will be provided to respective owners.
United National Party former parliamentarian Daya Gamage says that failure to obtain sufficient number of Sinhala community votes in the previous presidential election led to the defeat of former MP Sajid Premadasa. He said that he aims to reclaim this vote base back into the party. He made comments while speaking to media following a meeting held in Homagama. Former MP Daya Gamage said that during the presidential election they were able to obtain the Sinhala and Muslim votes and former MP Sajid Premadasa. However, he said that they were not able to obtain Sinhala Buddhist votes for further candidate. He said that the former presidential election candidate obtained only 50 votes in the working committee in the party. However, he said that he managed to secure 56 votes. He said that if he had contested for the deputy chairmanship of the party, he would have been victorious. He said that then they would have won the election accordingly, but was failed since they were not able to secure the votes of the Sinhala Buddhist community. The former MP said that he expects to rebuild the Sinhala Buddhist voter base for the party in the Colombo district and make the path for the UNP to be victorious again. He said that those who have left the party will not be able to gain the trust of the true UNP voter. Meanwhile, a gathering of the United National Party was held in Moratuwa yesterday. The meeting was held under the patronage of former MP Ravi Karunanayaka. He requested the public to vote for the party in order to ensure democracy in the country.
And the chairman of the Election Commission, Mahinda Deshapriya, says that steps will be taken to show the results of the election on the same day in which the parliamentary election will be taking place. He made these remarks while speaking to the media today. Chairman of the Elections Commission's Mahinda Deshapriya said that it is not possible to consider that the electoral process can be conducted in the previous manner under the present controlled COVID-19 situation in the country. He said that both electoral officers as well as voters should adhere to health guidelines as imposed by the Health Ministry at the polling booths. He said the Commission is aware that the results of the votes obtained by political groups would be able to issue on the same day night. He added that a decision should be reached whether the counting of presidential preferential votes should be carried out on the same night of the same next day. However, he said that the Commission has yet to reach a decision in that regard. He said this Commission will discuss in this regard after completing the ongoing mock election counting exercise. The Chairman of the Elections Commission said that the circular on the electoral process has already been drafted.
President Gotabaya Rajapakse emphasizes the need for the use of meaningful media practices to ensure patriotic and cultural values. The President made these remarks during the progress review meeting of the Independent Television Network. The changes to be introduced towards a television art based on new technology and the need to arrange programs to develop and promote knowledge were discussed during the meeting. The Vision of Prosperity policy statement, which was presented to the nation before the election, was accepted by the utmost majority in the country. Therefore, the President pointed out that the importance in taking the visionary ideology embedded in the policy statement towards the public without attempting to highlight his policies. It was also emphasized on the need for an efficient mechanism to follow when selecting foreign programs for telecast. The present situation of the Independent Television Network, future operations and strategic plans were reviewed during the meeting. Chairman of the network, Sudat Rohana, was also present at this meeting.
And meanwhile, Sri Lanka Police Department has stated that a strategic plan has been initiated to eradicate organized crimes and drug trafficking in the country. This was revealed at a media briefing held at the police headquarters today. Commandant of the Police Special Task Force DIG Varuna Jayasundara said that the police have identified 12 groups active in Western Province and another 5 groups active in Southern Province at present. He said that necessary operations will be conducted accordingly. He said that they have received complaints on alleged incidents related to intimidations, threats and demands for ransom. He also pointed out that these activities have also been carried out through a criminal network functioned inside prison them. However, he said that steps have been taken to hinder the activities. He added that
Police STF is in charge of security in Booza and Agunukuna Palace prisons. He further added that all new notorious criminals have been directed to the Booza prison and the STF has managed to disrupt the activities accordingly. He also said that separate operations have been initiated to arrest organized criminals at large. He added that relevant operations are underway in Western Province and missions will be carried out in Southern Province from next week onwards. DIG Deshabandhu Tennakon said that it is their duty to rescue the youth with a tendency to involve in criminal activities and the family members of those who have engaged in criminal activities from this plight. He said that they will take stern actions against those who are unable to rescue them from such activities. Meanwhile, police media spokesman SSP Jalia Senaratna made these remarks over the investigations related to the statement made by Vinayagamurthy Bularadharan area's Karuna Amman. SSP Jalia Senaratna said that necessary investigations were initiated yesterday. Accordingly, he said that relevant statements have already been recorded. He added that the CID took steps to make submissions to the court in this regard. He further added that measures have been taken to deploy an investigation team to Ampara and Batiklo. He added that the relevant investigations will be carried out directly under the Director of the Criminal Investigation Department. He added that they have yet to receive sufficient evidence to make the arrest.
Chairman of the Presidential Commission of Inquiry on the Political Victimization, former Supreme Court Judge Upali Abiratna says that the complaint over the Avantgarde incident will continue to be investigated since the Commission has decided that the respective complaint is in line with the subject stream of the Commission. He made these remarks when the inquiry related to the Avantgarde company was reconvened for the hearing today. Former Ministers Rajitha Senaratna and Arjuna Ranatunga, leader of Janatha Vimukthi Peramuna, Anura Kumara Dissanayaka, former Commander of Sri Lanka Navy Admiral Ravindra Wijegunaratne, former Director of Criminal Investigations Department SSP Shani Abesekara, President's Counsel Upul Jayasuriya and other defendants of the case appeared before the Commission today. Notices were issued against the defendants in accordance to a complaint received by the Commission citing that owner of Avantgarde Chairman Nissanka Senadipati has been politically victimized. Accordingly, the defendants were summoned to the Commission today. Submitting preliminary objections before the Commission, the attorneys representing Anura Kumara Dissanayaka and defendants said that the Commission has no judicial authority to conduct an inquiry on the Avantgarde complaint. Leader of JVP Anura Kumara Dissanayaka mentioned that he has not received any statement which based in naming him as a defendant of the case. The defendants requested the Commission to provide the copies of all the evidence obtained over the inquiry of the Avantgarde company, copies of the allegations made against the defendants, and documents related to the complaint. The attorneys representing the defendants and Anura Kumara Dissanayaka informed the Commission that the decision to record statements with the Commission will be reached after studying these documents. The chairman of the Commission said that since they have decided that the Avantgarde case is in line with the subject stream of the Commission, the inquiry has reached the final phase at present. Therefore, the chairman of the Commission emphasized that the case related to the Avantgarde complaint will continue to be inquired accordingly. Furthermore, the chairman of the Commission ordered to provide the requested documents to the defendants. The inquiry related to the case was postponed till the 26th of June.
And meanwhile, Chairman of the Ceylon Electricity Board, Vijitha Herath, says that a sum of 500 million rupees was obtained to build each power plant during the construction of solar power plants in the previous government period. He made these remarks during a media briefing held in Colombo today. Chairman of the Ceylon Electricity Board, Vijitha Herath, said that the Ceylon Electricity Board suffers a 250 million rupees loss on each day due to the prevailing situation in the country. He said that the main challenge posed before them is to determine those who are responsible and solutions for the prevailing issues. He said that those who make statements are not even CEB engineers. They claimed as this has been carried out by obtaining a sum of 500 million rupees to build each power plant during the construction of solar power plants in the previous government period. He said that the Ceylon Electricity Board suffered a loss of 85 million rupees last year. However, in 2014, he said that the electricity bill was reduced by 25% with the establishment of Narachole power plant and other two main plants. He said that then President Mahinda Rajapakse observed the prevalent issues pertaining in the energy sector in 2009. He said that then President decided to introduce coal power plant to the country and accordingly established Narachole power plant. The CEB chairman said that if not fair for the coal power plant, the country would be experiencing experiencing an 8-hour power failure in each day. He said that in 2014, the CEB was able to gain a 20 billion profit with the introduction of the new power plants. He added that by 2015, CEB was a profit-earning institution. However, with the government change in 2015, the proposed Sampur power plant was suspended, which led to the losses incurred by the CEB today. He said that the losses incurred by the CEB have been heavily contributed to the increasing of the diesel power plants in the country. He also said that the present government has taken a policy decision to convert the CEB into a profit-earning institution without increasing the electricity bill. He said that introduction of alternative power generating methods would be the solution for the high-spending diesel power plants. He said that the wind power and solar power contribute to the 10% of the power generation in the country. He further pointed out that short-sighted political and policy decisions taken in the previous government have contributed to the losses incurred by the Ceylon Electricity Board. And with that, we conclude tonight's news. Do watch us tomorrow at the very same time. Stay safe.